What if the memories of the most terrifying year of your life were erased, but the demons you faced never truly forgot you? That's exactly what happens to Josh and Dalton in Insidious Chapter 5, The Red Door. 10 years after the horrifying events of the first two movies, they've forgotten everything about the further. But when a mysterious red door begins appearing in Dalton's paintings, and Josh starts experiencing terrifying visions, the past comes crawling back. And this time, father and son will have to face the darkness they were forced to forget. So, let's break down the full story of Insidious Chapter 5, The Red Door. The movie Insidious 5 begins right where the ending of Insidious Part 2 left off. Back then, that entire year and all the evil events that happened during it were erased from Josh and Dalton's memories. This was done so they wouldn't end up in the world of demons and spirits, through astral projection again. A world where countless evil and restless spirits dwell. Well, 10 years pass and we see a funeral. It happens to be the funeral of Josh's mother, Lorraine Lambert. Josh and his entire family are present there. We then see everyone talking among themselves. That's when we learn that Josh and his wife have divorced. Josh has been troubled and stressed out for quite a long time, and it's really taken a toll on him. And above all, ever since the events of Insidious 2, he hasn't been able to give his children the time and attention they needed. And we know he isn't entirely at fault here either, because he didn't even remember what had happened back then. His memories had been erased. The relationship between him and his eldest son Dalton wasn't good either. Neither of them was able to fix things between them. After the funeral, everyone starts to leave. A card had also been brought to the funeral, and Carl was there as well. We got to know Carl a little better in the second part, as someone who helped them a lot. Dalton sees Carl here, but he doesn't remember that year when they went to Carl and he helped them. So obviously, how would he recognize him? Right then, he asks Carl who he is. Carl tells him that he was just a good friend of Lorraine. Everyone leaves and Josh starts to leave as well. Behind his car, we see a spirit. Yes, this is a spirit, but whose spirit it is, we'll find out later. Josh now drives Dalton to his college. Their relationship is already strained, and they get into a few minor arguments along the way. They arrive at the college where Dalton is going to study art and drawing. While dropping Dalton off at his room, Josh starts talking to him. Dalton had recently drawn a picture of Lorraine, and Josh points out that Dalton has never drawn him, even though he's right there with him. He talks about how much he has done for his kids, while his own father wasn't there for him and had taken his own life during Josh's childhood. This is a new angle in the story, adding a new plot point to the narrative. Dalton doesn't pay much attention to what his father says, and the two get into an important argument, causing Josh to leave. The room is supposed to be shared by two people, and Dalton's roommate is a girl named Chris. She puts in a request to change rooms, but the process will take at least a day. So she has to stay there for the night. Josh leaves the college feeling very sad, believing that he doesn't deserve everything that's happening to him. Meanwhile, Dalton and Chris start talking to each other. During their conversation, Dalton tells her that he has absolutely no memory of that one year from 10 years ago. It feels very strange to him, and he has also developed a fear of the dark. The next day, Josh sends Dalton a message. He tells Dalton that he understands what he's going through, and that he doesn't understand what happened to himself either. He says he'll soon figure out why and how all of this happened. Right then, we see Dalton in his art class. He is about to show his teacher the drawing of Lorraine, but he feels like it's not good enough, so he tears it up. Just then, the professor tells everyone to draw something based on the thoughts they've suppressed deep inside. Dalton looks deep within his mind and starts drawing. He draws a door, and this door is the gateway to the further, the place where demons can cross over into their world. Especially the lipstick-faced demon from the first movie, who is the main evil entity throughout the entire series. Dalton is suddenly haunted by the demon's hand, while Josh also sees that exact same red door in his nightmares. This makes it clear that everything happening to them is connected. A little blood gets on Dalton's drawing, so he spreads it across the page, turning the door red. We can already tell that this red door is going to be at the center of the story. The biggest thing here is that neither Josh nor Dalton remembers that year. In other words, they don't remember any of the events from Insidious 1 and Insidious 2 because obviously those memories were erased. Troubled by everything that's happening to him, Josh goes in for an MRI scan. As soon as he gets inside the scanner, the lights suddenly go out. Panicking, he starts yelling for help, but no one responds. Then he hears a demonic voice saying that the door has opened. Along with that, the ghost of Parker Crane appears and haunts him, terrifying him. And we already know Parker Crane, the infamous villain of the Insidious series, also known as the Bride in Black. Josh finally comes out of the scanner, and the doctor approaches him. Josh gets angry with the doctor, but the doctor tells him that he simply fell asleep inside the scanner and that the scan went perfectly. Josh doesn't understand how he could have fallen asleep in there either. The doctor tells him this could be caused by his memory loss and confusion. He tells Josh to find out whether anyone in his family had a history of mental illness. In the meantime, he suggests that Josh try some brain exercises as well. Just then, we see Dalton in his room. He looks at the drawing of the red door, and the lights suddenly go out. When he turns on the lamp, he sees blood on it, along with blood splattered in several other places around the room. A ghost suddenly haunts him, terrifying him. Just then, Chris arrives, and everything suddenly returns to normal. Chris had come to pick up her things because she had been assigned a new room. She starts talking to Dalton, and to have some fun, she takes him to a party. There, Dalton and Chris enter a room, and Chris steps outside for a moment. Dalton sees the spirit of a boy who was recently killed. The spirit tells Dalton to stop and close the door. Dalton can't understand what he's trying to tell him. The ghost starts haunting him, but Chris arrives just in time, and they leave for the dorm. Back at the dorm, Dalton starts finishing the drawing of the red door to uncover the mystery behind it. Then he closes his eyes and, without realizing it, begins astral projecting. His spirit wanders through the dorm until it reaches Chris's room. His spirit was wandering around while his physical body remained in the room. He plays an instrument that was kept there, which wakes Chris up. Suddenly, Dalton's spirit returns to his body, and he wakes up. Chris asks him what he was doing. He says he doesn't know what just happened either. He had gone to a place in what felt like a dream, but it wasn't a dream. He feels as if he was either getting closer to something, or something was getting closer to him. Right then, we see Josh at his house. A spirit haunts him there, or rather, seems to be trying to get close to him, but it disappears almost immediately. We know that both Josh and Dalton have the gift of astral projection. Whenever they close their eyes, they can enter the further, a dimension where countless spirits and demons reside. Josh finds a box with a name written on it. When he opens it, he finds photos of his mother and father inside. The spirit that had been haunting him was actually his father's spirit. As I mentioned earlier, the spirit he saw in the reflection was none other than his dad's spirit. Now we see Dalton trying to figure out the meaning behind that painting. He also questions his younger brother, but he doesn't get much information from him. However, using fragments of his memories, he had also drawn a shadow standing in front of that door. We don't know whose shadow this is yet. Obviously, Insidious fans already know. Just then, Chris arrives and tells him that what Dalton experienced was actually astral projection. She also shows him some videos featuring Specs and Tucker, who were Elisa's sidekicks, or rather, her partners. We also see a video of one of Elisa's sessions. In it, she explains that the spirits trapped in the further are in pain, left there for centuries to suffer for their sins. But the further isn't home to just spirits. There are also countless demons there. They try to enter our world and take our lives because they want to live. These demons are so dangerous that they not only want our bodies, meaning they want to possess us, but they also want to cause destruction in our world. Dalton then talks about contacting the spirit of the boy who had haunted him. He wants to contact him because that's the only way he can find out what the spirit was trying to tell him about the door. So he and Chris go there, and Dalton tries to astral project. Before they can find out anything, a demon attacks Chris, while the other spirits start tormenting them. Because of the demon's attack, Chris faints right there. A boy named Nick, whose party Dalton and Chris had attended, brings her back around. Dalton wakes up as well. Right then, we see Josh, who goes to find out about a man named Ben. He learns that Ben was none other than his own father, who had taken his own life. He was able to astral project as well. This helps us understand how this gift, or rather this curse, was passed down to Josh and Dalton. Josh goes to Renai now. On the other side, Dalton also asks his brother if he remembers anything about what happened 10 years ago. His brother says he has an image in his mind that feels real, but their mom says it was just a dream. This means the entire family knew what had happened, but no one wanted to tell Josh or Dalton. Obviously, if their memories came back, they could start astral projecting again, bringing chaos back into their family. But without even realizing it, both Josh and Dalton were already astral projecting. When Dalton finishes the painting, it reveals Josh holding a hammer. These memories are from part 2, when Josh, while possessed, tried to kill everyone. And we know that Parker Crane's spirit had possessed Josh at the time. Dalton becomes extremely disturbed by all of this. Meanwhile, Josh talks to Renai and tells her that Ben's final note to his mother said that everything would end with him. But Josh doesn't know exactly what that meant. After hearing this, Renai tells him everything that happened in the past, what he did and what happened to him. Hearing all of this, Josh becomes deeply upset that the truth had been kept from him. However, Renai explains that it was all done to stop everything from happening again. Suppressing his memories was necessary, and she couldn't explain to the kids what had happened or make up false stories about it. That's why they eventually separated. Just then, Dalton's younger brother, Foster, arrives and sees the painting Dalton made, showing Josh while he was possessed. We then see Dalton astral projecting again. This time, he sees the moment from the past when the possessed Josh was about to kill everyone. Back then, young Dalton astrally projected into the further to bring his father, Josh, back and started searching for him. We saw all of this in part 2. Here, the possessed Josh is just about to kill him. In Insidious 2, Elise saves him, but this time, older Dalton himself saves his younger self. You might remember that every now and then throughout the movies, there are some really strange moments. Whenever they enter the further through astral projection, time can be manipulated, and we get to see some very unusual moments that are hard to understand. That's exactly what happens here as well. For example, when Elise opened this red door while trying to save a girl and left it open. Because of that, young Dalton was possessed during his childhood. This movie involves a lot of time manipulation, and they can even enter moments from the distant past. He finds himself in a strange place, surrounded by things connected to his memories, which causes him to remember everything from that year. We then see the same demon that had possessed young Dalton. The demon comes and stands in front of him, and he wakes up. In reality, what happened was that the demon had finally taken control of Dalton's body, which was what it had wanted all along. Chris arrives, and the demon prepares to attack her. Just then, we see Josh, who enters astral projection and starts searching for Dalton, because now he is the one who has to save his son. He finds Dalton, who tells him that Josh tried to kill everyone. Josh clarifies that he didn't kill anyone, nor did he ever try to. Whatever happened was caused by the demons, and they can control Dalton too, so they need to get out of there. Basically, Dalton's own spirit has to return to his body so the demon can be forced out and sent back to its world. Josh says they have to put an end to all of this. Dalton says they won't be able to stop it, but Josh says he will stop the demon no matter what and tells Dalton to get out of there. In the real world, Dalton's possessed body attacks Chris, and several more spirits appear. By then, Dalton's spirit has returned to his body, and he regains consciousness. Meanwhile, Josh is using all his strength to hold the door shut. He says that all of this will end with him, just as his father had said. Meaning, his father must have tried to stop all of this at some point too. We know this demon killed him as well. We saw his spirit come to Josh, so he had actually come there to save him, warning him not to go any further. I think his dad, Ben, might have believed that if he took his own life, his children would be safe. But that didn't happen. Instead, this same gift was passed down to his children as well. The demon starts breaking through the door and is about to come out. Right then, Dalton starts painting over the door in his painting with black paint. Because of that, the door inside the further starts closing as well. Since Dalton was the one who opened it, the door wasn't going to close simply by forgetting about it. Could only be closed by remembering it. As long as he wants to keep it closed, he can keep it that way. As soon as Dalton covers the entire painting with paint, Chris tells him that he has to burn it. Dalton says he needs to keep it safe so it can never be opened again. Meaning, erasing their memories was not the right thing to do after all. Elise made a mistake by doing this, or we could say she might have seen what was coming. Right then, Josh also returns to his world, and everything is fine. His relationship with Dalton becomes better as well. Finally, Dalton has painted a picture of Josh, showing him bringing Dalton back after saving him from the further. Seeing this, Josh becomes very happy. As soon as Josh steps outside, he sees Elise's spirit. She tells him that he did a great job and that their future is very bright. He just needs to remember one thing: whenever he astral projects, he shouldn't go too far into the further. In the post-credits scene, we see that exact same door with some movement happening around it. This means it isn't over yet. Now, this demon and all those spirits will continue searching for someone who can astral project. And with that, the movie ends. So guys, that was the story of Insidious Chapter 5, The Red Door. I hope you liked it. Now, if I talk about my personal take, I feel like they're stretching the story quite a bit here. It's possible that Patrick Wilson had a lot of love for this story, which led him to make his directorial debut. However, one good thing about this story is that we finally got to know where this gift came from. In the first movie, there was never any discussion about Ben, so we knew nothing about Josh's father. Now, the interesting thing will be finding out what his story was. It's possible that we could get another prequel that properly fills in the story before Part 1 and Part 2, or even connects the stories of Part 1, Part 2, and Part 5. That way, we could see Ben's story, how he got this gift, and how this demon came after him. Any other demon could have been involved, so why is this particular red demon after their family? Now, you might be wondering why this demon was after Elise too. Obviously, she opened the red door and forgot to close it. On top of that, the demon knew Elise had powers and could stop it, which is why it wanted to destroy her. Before that could happen, Parker Crane's spirit killed her. It's also possible that she did this after coming under the demon's control. Because the story could go in any direction from here, especially since all these storylines are being connected in such strange ways. I hope you liked this video and enjoyed the movie. Let me know what you thought of the film if you watched it. And what do you think? Was Chapter 5 really necessary? Or are they just extending the story like this and forcing more movies under the Insidious name? Still, it's definitely worth watching once. Anyway, we know good horror movies are pretty rare these days, so definitely give this movie a watch. I have a very mixed opinion about this movie. I can't call it either very bad or very good. Because I'm a huge fan of the Insidious series, it's pretty difficult for me to criticize this movie. So, I hope you liked the video. If you did, drop a like on the video. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. I'll see you all in the next video. Until then, take care.